I'm like an addict, do I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it, fuse like a magnet. Lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shit tastes sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay in power for a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back, better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never gonna look back. Never gonna look back. Cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast, and that's facts. Only I can make a change. Slowly take a step today. I will never be the same, cause that's what it takes.
All right, guys, happy Friday, July 21st. Welcome back. Happy weekend. Happy Friday. We got a couple things to talk about tonight. That's right. Judge Zurn dropped her written opinion, as we guessed that she was going to do by in the month of July. And if you were in the Discord, especially in some of the voice combos we've been having this week, I have been saying I really expected it to be between Friday market close and Monday market open. And yeah, sure enough, we got it. So we're going to talk about that tonight as fact-based as we can. I've got, hopefully, if this PDF doesn't close up on me, I've got some key things highlighted that I want to talk about, and then answer a lot of your questions about Zurn's written opinion. Let's put up the price action here real quick, and then we'll say some hellos now that extended hours is closed. Which screen do we want? Let's do this one. All right, so as of right now, we had obviously a big run up on Zurn's denial of the settlement. We'll get into what all that means in a second. But we had a run up on AMC, a run down in APE. Like I've been telling you guys, depending on how the settlement came in, the two tickers were going to run either one way or the other way. So you saw the one way. AMC ran up almost to $9, currently trading at $7.17 as we finish up the extended hours. And APE dropped all the way down to like 67 cents and has since rebounded to $1.54 at the close of extended hours trading. So quite a ride for both stocks. And I know some of y'all probably got some questions like, what's going to happen over the weekend? What about my call options? What about my put options? I'm getting all sorts of questions from you guys. Man, tough weekend to be holding options, because you got to wonder all weekend, are these attorneys going to be getting together and hammering some other alternative settlement out? Is that going to be dropped over the weekend, or are we going to trade continuing on the pattern that we had in extended hours today if they don't drop anything? So I don't know the answer to that, but it's something to be thinking about. As far as just general trading talk, volatility is what makes trading exciting, right? Whether you were holding AMC and at $4 and had the opportunity to offload some of it at $9, some of you probably added some at $7, $8, $9. Some of you might have traded out of some of your position. I also know people that bought APE when it dropped down to 69, 70 cents. So, and then it's since doubled also back up to $1.54. So I just want you to be open to, besides just always thinking buy and hold, be looking for trading opportunities on volatility. That's just good, smart decision making for those of you that are traders. Now, obviously, that's not for everybody. I'm not suggesting that you trade, buy, sell, or hold any one stock. I just want you to be, whether you traded in this or just watched. I watched, because as people were trading, I was reading 69 pages of Judge Zurn's decision to get information out to you guys. So I held my positions. I didn't add anything. I didn't sell anything. And I wanted to get an assessment out to you guys as quickly as possible on Twitter, Discord, and the community tab. So, I'm good with where we're at. Let's talk about where we're at, though. Let's talk about where we're at. Let me switch screens here. So, at the end of the day, the proposed settlement is not approved. Now, I saw a lot of articles hitting the tape right away when this written opinion dropped saying the reverse split conversion was not approved. Let's just put the kibosh on that. The judge was making a decision on the proposed settlement, the one for 7.5 to AMC holders, and a release of all future claims, a release of AMC to be sued by anybody in the AMC class or the APE class. That's what they were asking for. In consideration of that, they were going to pay one share for every 7.5 to AMC holders. The judge had a problem with that. And we kind of heard this on her last day in the hearing at the end of June. She was asking the attorneys a lot of questions. Well, what about the release for APE? And they kind of hemmed and hawed around and didn't give her a great answer other than the AMC said, look, we want a release from everything. We want to be done with this. And it was left kind of confusing to many of us, right? If you were paying attention. So the judge really drove her decision today based on that one point. And we got 69 pages. I'm not going to go through all of them, but I just want to talk about the highlights, and then I'll say hi to you guys and start taking some questions. The very beginning of most of this, the first half, is just Judge or Chancellor Zurn recapping everything, the whole history of how we got here. She says on page 2, to cut to the chase, the settlement cannot be approved as submitted. And I don't want you to just gloss over that word, because as Chancery Daily told us many, many weeks ago, the judge was going to either approve or deny the settlement. And if she denied it, then more than likely the next step is the parties need to get together and decide if they want to amend the settlement and resubmit it to the judge. Now, I will say, as you guys know, I'm not an attorney. I don't know. And I asked Chancery Daily to come on and call in and give us her thoughts. I don't know what the process is going to be exactly. If they resubmit, do they just blue line it, the plaintiff and the defendant, and resubmit it to the judge over the weekend, and she gets to look at it? Is there a whole new schedule that they need to set up with the court and go through some more hearings? I don't know that today. I don't. Maybe some of y'all that are legal scholars, maybe you know that. But that is the next step. They either need to amend the settlement, or one other thing that we were kind of just brainstorming is what if Allegheny just dismisses the suit, just drops the lawsuit? Why would they do that? We'll talk about that in just a second. So let's take a breather for 1 second, say hello to a few folks, and then we'll get into what the judge said. I'm going to go ahead and crack a beer because I'm sure there's going to be a few trolls in here tonight. Just for you guys, we're drinking Clown Shoes Imperial Stout, aged in bourbon barrels and rum barrels. Oh, man. It's been a long fucking week. That hits pretty damn good. I don't remember what I paid for this. I think it was about $6 for one can. Very rich. Anybody tried this brand? Clown Shoes out of Boston, Mass. Boston, Mass, and Windsor, Vermont. I'm probably going to get messed up. 10% ABV. And I've barely been drinking for almost 2 months now. All right, let's see who we got in the chat tonight. Kathy, Bravscar, Overboard Entertainment, Grandpa Barney, Damrick. Who else? Anya, good evening. Karen, what is up? Thank you, mods, for helping out tonight. We're not going to be looking to boot a bunch of people tonight, mods, unless they're just being absolute assholes with the way that they talk. So, let them say what they want. I'm sure a lot of people have thoughts. But if somebody's being then go ahead and mute them for 15 minutes and throw up some torches so I can go take a look. Tristan says, Tony, those couple minutes after close were kind of a nail biter. Yeah, they sure were. I closed my eyes for a few minutes about 1:30, and I set my alarm for 3 because I had a sneaking suspicion. We were tracking the APE volume throughout the day and the price on APE, and we were saying, this looks really, really suspicious that APE is getting pushed down in regular trading. Really, really suspicious that somebody knows that a decision's about to drop. And then sure enough, boom. Freak says, Clown Shoes makes good stuff. It is damn good. My first time trying it. Troy, what's up? Jim says, I've been dry for 3 weeks. Popped a bottle of wine open tonight. Yeah. Good night for it. Slot Massacre says APE looked as suspicious as heck today. So you noticed that too, huh? Very good. So I wasn't alone, or our little chat group was not alone. Who knew and how? Dan, good question. I'm just conspiracy theorizing. Did Judge Zurn's maid clean out the trash can? Was she hired by Citadel? You ever watched that TV show Billions? You know how they always have somebody infiltrated somewhere. Bravscar says, I picked the wrong day to stop drinking. Yeah. All right. So let's continue on. Let's press on with the key points, because that's what you guys are here for. Then we'll have some fun. Key points from what Judge said. I'm going to boil this down to you. 69 pages, all about one thing. This lawsuit was lodged by Allegheny on behalf of AMC common shareholders. The lawsuit was based on AMC common. The proposed settlement gives a benefit to AMC common, right? The 1 for 7.5. But the release of all future claims, the release of all ability to sue AMC was on behalf of common and APE. And the judge said, you can't do that because you didn't file the lawsuit on behalf of APE. You don't represent APE shareholders. You didn't ask to represent APE shareholders. You're giving no consideration in the settlement to APE shareholders. Therefore, I cannot approve the settlement as it is written right now. There was nothing in, I put a link for you in the video description. You can read it on your own. There was nothing in this 69 pages calling the vote in March illegal. There was nothing in here calling the creation of APE illegal. There was nothing in here saying the reverse split cannot happen. There was nothing in here saying the conversion cannot happen. What was in this document was the judge saying, I can't approve it because you cannot just give AMC a complete release for all future claims by holders of APE with no consideration. And moreover, you're not even representing APE shareholders. So now we got some real questions to ponder over, right? How do these two parties, the plaintiffs and the defendant, get out of that quandary? How do they get out of it? What if one possible resolution is, okay, judge, how about we offer some consideration to APE holders? We'll give them some settlement too. Well, then, as I'm thinking about that for the last few hours, then you nullify the benefit you're giving to AMC holders with a settlement. So does that make sense? Throw the APE shareholders a bone in a settlement when the idea was to compensate AMC shareholders for the dilution of moving APE over. I don't know if that makes sense to compensate APE holders. Do you do it if it at a different ratio? Do you not do it? I don't know. That's something we need to talk about tonight. And I'd love to hear Chance the lawyer's thoughts on it too. The other possible scenario that I'm thinking of is AMC could just say, all right, we want this to go forward. Time is of the essence. We need access to capital. So we're going to approve the settlement and just waive the release for APE holders and hope they don't sue us. I don't know. What do y'all think about that? Do you think AMC is going to just wing it and hope that nobody's holding APE ever sues them? As I'm thinking about that one for the last couple hours, I'm thinking of all the pro se litigants that hold APE and AMC that would just be chomping at the bit to have another go round as an APE holder to sue for something. So I don't know if AMC would be willing to just say move forward and we'll take our chances with the APE holders and hope they don't sue us. I don't know. The third possibility that I thought of is that Allegheny just says, you know what, Judge, we weren't going to win anyways. You didn't find any illegality. You just didn't like the settlement. And AMC is not going to give us a release. And we fucked up by only filing on the behalf of Common. And Judge, we'd just like to respectfully withdraw from this case and have it dismissed. Again, I'm not a lawyer. Is that an option? I don't know. I think Chance the lawyer said that could be an option. And so that is something that I'm just thinking about. I don't know. I'm just throwing out my ideas. That's what you guys are here for. And then we'll talk about them. So we got 1, 2, 3. And then the fourth option that I thought of, maybe you guys have some other ones. That's what we're all here for, to group think. The fourth option that I thought of is we know that the law in Delaware got passed by the legislature. And on August 3rd, the governor is going to sign it or not sign it to allow companies to take votes just like what happened in March and not require 50% plus one to be present. That was the whole reason they needed Allegheny and the APE vote, right? Because retail does not show up. They weren't going to get any increase in the amount of shares or reverse split passed without enough people showing up. So Delaware approved a law, a new bill to remove that requirement. And the governor will be signing that in about 10, 11, 12, 13 days. What if they just wait out the clock or just both walk away and file paperwork on Monday? AMC files paperwork on Monday to do a new vote in 20 days or 30 days, whatever the minimum notice requirement is. And then they don't need the APE vote anymore because the new Delaware law. Now, is that possible? Again, there's a little bit of unknown there because the governor hasn't signed it into law yet, but I think we all presume that he probably will. So, again, a lot of unknowns. I think if anybody's telling you definitively they know what happens, they're full of hot air at this point. All the judge did was deny the current settlement. It's really that simple. She did not deny the reverse split. She did not deny the conversion. She dismissed every single exception to the special master's report. That is somewhere in here in the first couple pages. Right here, the decision takes the additional step of ruling on the various exceptions to the special master's report. All the things that the objectors were sending her letters about, they are dismissed. It doesn't get any more cut and dry, right, than that sentence right there. Every exception, every objection is dismissed. The only thing on the table is, how do you get a settlement where you want a release on future ape claims when you weren't representing ape shareholders? So that is what the two parties need to figure out. Tristan says, basically, she sort of returned the research report with grading marks and told the students to correct these and turn them back in. That's kind of how I'm viewing it, Tristan. What I don't know is the exact timeline process of how that works. Is it just correct it and hand your homework back in on Saturday? Or do we need to schedule a bunch of more stuff? A bunch of more stuff. That sounded like very Italian there. Let's schedule a bunch of more stuff. I saw Chancery Daily posted something quick on her Substack, very like 2 sentences, and I hope she calls in tonight. But she said we could potentially be in for a long ride. So I'm really, really curious to hear her additional thoughts. Like, what is this long ride we're going to be on now, Chance? I think she's kind of honing in on how do we resolve this? If Allegheny was filing on behalf of Common, how do the two parties resolve the preferred shares release? All right, what do you guys think of that? Scott says, Tony, run this powerhouse idiot out of the chat. I'm waiting for one of the mods. That you got to really cross the line. A lot of people need to vent. Man, the venting on Twitter. Tony Denaro, you must apologize to all the no voters. Tony Denaro, you lost. Number one, guys, I'm not on anyone's side, for or against. I have my opinions. I'm trying to explain fundamentally and financially to you the impact of this lawsuit to the company, and you make your own decisions. I don't care how you trade. I don't care which ticker you hold. If you don't know that by now, you're being misled by shills, trolls, and clowns. All right. Now, certainly I have my opinions, but I don't care what you do. And I'm not trying to sway anybody. I've never once gave anybody a trading instruction. Okay. So I'm trying to be as unbiased as possible, because you need someone like that at this point in this play. I'm not on anyone's side. I have my opinions about what is best for the company. That might not be best for shareholders. I think we all get that, right? The company needs cash. A lot of companies that are losing money need cash. What do? They dilute. Is that good for shareholders? Almost never, right? We've all been on this train before. That's up to you then, to make your choice. Number one, you bought a company that's losing money. So you had to know at some point they were going to need to raise money, right? Or go bankrupt. That's your choice. That was your choice long before I came along. Once you're on that train for 2 years and the company starts running out, they need to start making other decisions. That's just how these things work. Look what Cosmos just did. Cosmos Holdings, same fucking thing. Mullen's doing it. Highcroft's about to do it. The list of companies that I've been watching do this shit to people for the last 2 years is endless. That's why I urge you to not invest your entire portfolio in companies that are losing money. Invest the bulk of your portfolio in profitable companies. You don't got to worry about this. But that's neither here nor there at this point. I'm still trying to be the one last sane person helping you at least understand what is going on in this play if you decided to stay in it. So I'm not on anyone's side. I might have some opinions about what is beneficial to the company. Doesn't mean that I disregard its impact to shareholders. As far as apologies, there's nothing to apologize to anyone for. Every shareholder exception and objection was dismissed, as I told you they would be. The only thing that is really at question here is the release of ape claims, the release of future ape claims. So what do y'all think? What do you think out of the 4 options we talked about, what do you think is the most likely outcome of what the judge is going to do? What the plaintiff and AMC are going to do? Do you think that they're going to be huddled up all weekend? Do you think that we're going to see a docket entry this weekend or Monday morning first thing? Or do you think this is going to drag out for months and months and months now? Long on Excedrin, Corbin says, right? Jerry, can you give a quick recap on what happened? Yes, sir, Jerry. I just got done, my friend. If you could just do me the favor of rewinding 5 minutes and put it on 2x speed, because I don't want to just repeat the last 5 minutes of what I just said. CJ Plumbing says, we think you're paid by the shorts. Okay, I'm going to say this again for the umpteenth time. Under penalty of law, guys, nobody tells me what to say. Nobody pays me. What you are hearing is made me hated by both the most bullish of apes and the most shortest of shorts, because I tell you the fucking facts as I see them with no bias. You know how many fucking over-the-top apes have blocked me on Twitter because I don't tell them what they want to hear? But by the same token, the most shilliest of trolls block me too, because I don't put up with their nonsense either. I'm very middle of the road, about the best you're going to get in this fucking play. Nobody fucking pays me. I'm not short on any stock, never have been. I don't fucking short. That's it. And yes, I am a shareholder. I want, the only thing I care about in any play, and although yes, a large part of my audience wants to know about AMC, talk to the people in my Discord. I follow many, many, many stocks. My portfolio is way more than just AMC. I'm fascinated by retail's willingness to buy money-losing stocks and hold them to bankruptcy. And so I've made a study of understanding everybody as a retail trader over the last 2 years. And we're going to be talking about that as we get into later this year. But no, nobody pays me. Couldn't be further from the truth. And the people that are spreading that nonsense is because they don't want someone who is unbiased and factual to counter their narrative. Call Tony some names, throw some dirt up against the wall. Let's see if we can run them away. I ain't fucking leaving because I'm reading filings and financial statements to you. There is nothing for me to be embarrassed about. If you don't like, I have people that say, Tony, would you quit talking about the financial statements? Yeah, because it's inconvenient to your narrative, right? But that is the company's information. You know how many Highcroft people are mad at me right now because I read you guys and explain the financial statements? You know how many people have called me a paid hedge fund because for the last year when Highcroft was falling from $3 to 30 cents, I said, wait to buy it, because I read the fucking filings. I read research reports before Highcroft even did the SPAC merger. I know the damn play and I knew what was coming. And that is inconvenient to pumpers. And so they hate me. It's okay. I'm a grown man and I'm not here for views. I'm not here for friends. I'm here to help you wade your way through what is legitimate information, what is pump information, what is a good entry, what is a good exit. I provide the information, you make the decision. Now, I will tell you, speaking of shorts, I did my second ever paper trade short today. Who can guess the ticker? We do practice from time to time shorting paper trades. And I paper traded, what was it? That one that ran up, the one that Teddy was talking about. BGLC. I paper traded that one today. At the height of the mania. BGLC. Let's just do a quick exercise on this. Only a few seconds, guys. I'm not going to bore you. Looking at this chart today, right here, as I was listening to Discord and looking at social media, the fucking social media was going nuts on BGLC as it ran up from 516 to 949. And then we saw this little needle of death right here. I shorted on a paper trade $10,000 worth right here. And then I looked at the moving averages and I immediately put in a limit order to buy back in at $6.27, which filled exactly 1 hour later, right about here. And that netted me on paper, not real money, not real trade. I don't short. I'm practicing, right? And I would not take the risk of shorting because it is unlimited if you fuck up. On paper, I made like $2,600 in 1 hour. So that was pretty good. That's about the extent of my shorting. So if you ever hear me talking about shorting a year from now, please make sure that I've done the appropriate amount of work over the next year to not screw it up. I would never talk about shorting because I'm no expert. And until I have a fucking good track record on paper, I ain't about to start doing that. But what I saw on that chart was the needle of death, and I saw a massive amount of FOMO, just like I called the top on Finger last week at $7. I didn't comment on Finger one time on publicly. In the Discord I did almost, several updates as it ran from $1 to $7. We all love the run up, but when I started seeing it topping out, put out one tweet and I got attacked for 3 days calling the top on Finger. But where is it now? Where is Finger now? It is at $4. You can go back and look at my tweet history right here on about July 12th. I put out a tweet saying these pumpers are going to lose you money. And it, I got attacked for days, but the stock price speaks for itself. So we called that one correctly also. 8 Blazing says, first piece of advice when new to shorting, don't short. Yeah. Yeah. Do not fucking try shorting if you don't know what you're doing, which is why I don't do it. If I'm really negative on a play, I'll buy puts. But even then, half the time I don't buy the puts because the IV is so damn high. You know what I do? I did a couple trades this week. I have puts on Carvana that I bought on Wednesday. Speaking, if you want to know what else I've been doing this week, besides hanging out in Discord and having fun with folks, I bought puts on Carvana right here on this run up to $57. I still have those. They're good for a month. I'm going to ride this down to the gap fill. I'm pretty solidly in the green on those. And I also bought SQQQ, which is a bearish bet on the NASDAQ. And I'm up pretty solid on that. I bought it at 1712, was it? Or 1612. It was also on the 19th. Right. Somewhere right around here. Let me see if I'm pretty sure I put it in the Discord. My trade in the VIP trade channel. I bought SQQQ. Here it is. On the 17th at $17.12. So that's only gone up since then. So doing okay on that one also. All right. Back to Judge Zurn. What other questions you guys got? In it to win it says I'm dumbfounded at all the jackasses down in Tony. Yeah, I'm dumbfounded by it too. By it as well, my friend. Look, everybody hates someone that brings facts to the table. Whether your agenda is to troll a stock and make people sell or pump a stock and make people buy, nobody wants me at the fucking party. Because when I see that inflection point, I'm going to point it out. I'm not going to ruin anybody's play. Like I said, I let Finger run from $1 to $7 because a lot of people were making money. When I saw it topping out, one tweet. All right, Christopher wants to know, does this hurt AMC's ability to raise capital? Right now it does, Christopher. What happened today, Zurn denying the settlement as written, adds delay, right? Whether it's a delay till Monday or a delay for a month, I don't know. But as we know from last quarter, the company had 495 million cash. I think that they will make a small profit in Q2. We should be finding out about that in probably the first week or so of August at the Q2 earnings. And then I think that they're probably going to lose a little bit of money in Q3 and Q4, although it's way too early to call Q3. And Oppenheimer and Barbie are looking fantastic as far as the number of seats being sold. So I can't tell you for sure about Q3. I'm always hopeful that we make a profit. We'll just have to see how the rest of this month and into next month go with Oppenheimer. I couldn't even pretty much get a seat to Oppenheimer until next Wednesday in the IMAX. It's sold out literally in every showing in my town till next Wednesday. That is just unbelievable. But we are going to see Barbie this weekend at Scarlett's request. Blue Sky Landscape says Ape only down 14%. AMC gaining will just reinforce the value of Ape. I noticed that, right? Ape took a big dive, but then recovered to only down 14%. So I think as people digested, I sped read through that whole 69 pages very, very quickly, just looking for keywords. And I ascertained within a couple minutes that her main argument was she didn't like the release of Ape, the release of claims on Ape. And then after I put that info out, I went through and I read it a little bit slower. And then right before I came on with you guys, I read it much slower and highlighted all the key stuff. But we've pretty much talked about all the key stuff now. Everything on here. She's got 4 bullet points. All of them have to do with the release of Ape. And Allegheny was not representing Ape shareholders. And this lawsuit was not about Ape. Therefore, they can't, and there's no consideration given to Ape shareholders in the settlement. So for reasons 1 through 4, the judge couldn't approve it. They were all related to the release of Ape. That was it. What's going to happen between, let's talk about price real quick here for a second too. I just want to share my little theory. And I'm not saying this is right, but you guys saw the big price movement. Several million shares in 5 minutes, 7 minutes. Each one of these bars is 600,000 or so shares. So what I was thinking, and let me know if you guys agree or disagree, there's about just over 2 million shares of Ape sold off. What I was thinking here was someone that was short AMC saw this denial and was like, oh yeah, Ape's going to the moon. But at the same time, there were people that were short and they're like, oh fuck, it's not going down and we're on the hook for 1,000% cost to borrow or 800, 700, whatever. And so a lot of this initial big swing, I think, just my guess, was some newer shorts covering. And then people got excited and added to that. And you got to run up all the way to 876. Then that buying pressure, that short covering, just not a ton of shorts, guys, just some of the newer ones that had overpaid and were hoping for a quick win by judge approving the settlement. They were denied. So they just covered, which is good, for them. Why take the risk of it running even higher? They covered, and then when that was done, you just saw flat trading for the rest of extended hours. What happened here, I don't know, because there's not really that many people short. Obviously, it wasn't shorting. The volume was really, really low. Did retail panic sell here? I don't know. But only about 2 million shares out of a billion traded hands. So the quantity of shares that left APE was very, very small. And I was on the phone with people that were buying at 67, 68 cents with every dollar they had left. So there was a lot of support, people that were, oh, shucks, I wanted to buy APE and it never got lower than $1.50 before I thought about it. They got handed about 10 minutes of a couple minutes, 2 minutes of opportunity. Whether or not that works out, I don't know. Everything's risky in this play, right? Because we don't know how it's going to ultimately end. And it is not over. It is not over. Nothing is done yet. When is Dune? Jim Eagle said. Dune the movie. It got pushed, or they're talking about pushing it because of the writer-actors strike. They're talking about pushing it to 2024. And someone got mad at me this morning for tweeting out that movies were getting pushed. Tony, don't tell them bad news. You got to assess the risk, guys. If you're going to be in this play, do not ignore risks. And the writers and actors strike, if you're going to be a longer-term holder, if movies start pushing from the end of Q4 because actors can't show up on red carpet events, if the studio decides to push it into 2024, then that will lower revenues in Q4 and increase the likelihood of a negative quarter. We're already on the fence for Q3 and Q4. We don't need more bad news like movies getting pushed. So I'm going to bring it up. I owe that to you, to not just give you the positive news. I give you plenty of positive news, but I'm not going to shy away from the bad news too. That is how you become a good trader, to assess both the positive and the risk. Then you get to make your own choice. I'm just sharing the info for people because Lord knows, there's one Tony Denaro and there's tens of thousands of haters, trolls, shills, shorts, and tens of thousands of pumpers. Only look at the chart. News doesn't matter. Fundamentals, financials, press releases. It's just the chart. The chart's the only thing that matters. The pumpers, there's tens of thousands of those, and they exist in every ticker. So I try and differentiate myself by at least being the one guy that gives you the good and the bad, sprinkle in a little bit of opinion, and I'm happy to always answer your questions very directly if you ask them. But I try not to let that filter through when I'm sharing news. Whether it's good or bad, I'm going to share it so that you have the full information. And we do it the same way in the Discord, right? Our Discord is a hotbed of discussion, good and bad. You know how many people left my Discord when Bed Bath & Beyond started dropping after $30? And I brought up the very real risk of bankruptcy. People left because they did not want to hear that. But we're not going to shy away from financials, fundamentals, and bad news. It was the reality of what was happening in that play. And they left. Meanwhile, Bed Bath & Beyond dropped from $30 to 30 cents. I was out of Bed Bath & Beyond very publicly on a live in August of 2022. and have not changed my outlook based on any information, filings, or fundamentals presented since then. Yes, I'm aware of all of it. I follow it very closely. Nothing that I've seen has changed my mind, but there has been plenty of people, I think, misleading people with a lot of hopium and false information, and I don't do that. Dr. V says, what are my thoughts on Cosm? I got to watch what I say about Cosmos. I'll say that I looked at it very closely in June and decided not to buy it. Although I wouldn't write them off just yet. I looked at their financials again yesterday. I wouldn't write them off, but when I looked at the financials and the stock price yesterday and the upcoming dilution they just announced, I decided I'm going to put that on the back burner for a few more weeks and keep an eye on it. Too early for me to tell you that I'm buying Cosmos. That's all I'll say for now. Too early for me to say I'm buying Cosmos. Same thing I'm saying about Mullen, Highcroft, and many others that have some cash and revenue issues and are doing dilution. Parabolic says the only thing risky about this play is not being in this play. No guts, no glory. Sith Lord says, Tony, I told you once, show me a man with no enemies and I'll show you a man with no success. Well, thank you for that. That's probably sage words, my friend. All right, let's light up a smoke. What do we got here? 910. What the hell is the brand, though? I can't read. There's no fucking light. I swear this says Cuchillo Dorado, but I feel like that's a bad word. Something gold. What's going to happen with AMC and Ape price come Monday? All right, let's talk about that while I light this baby up. My damn lighter. I think a lot depends on what happens over the weekend. Raise your hand if you think AMC and Allegheny are incentivized or motivated to meet over the weekend to get this done. Raise your hand if you think that the process even allows that to get done over the weekend, to submit a do-over to Zurn. If you think that this is going to go back on the docket, set a new schedule, more hearings, blah, 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 give me a thumbs down or give me some other emoji other than raising your hand in the chat. Something else, something that a bullshit emoji, something. I don't know how fast they can get it done. I'm going to tell you that right now. I wish Chance the lawyer would call in and give us her thoughts. I'm concerned that she said we might have a long road ahead of us. Not Money Advice says they have to schedule a new settlement. They do have to write up a new settlement, but my question is, do they have to schedule it? Is there going to be hearings? Is there going to be a discussion? Is there going to be chance to object to it? Right? If they offer a new settlement, are we going to go through a whole nother round of objections? Oh my gosh. If that is the case, yeah, this could drag out for a long ass time. I don't know. I like the eggplant emoji. What I want you guys to take away from today, if nothing else, I think it's safe to say I think that I'm safe to tell you that this is far from over. The judge did not deny, like you're hearing on social media, she did not deny the reverse split. She did not deny the conversion. She denied the settlement as proposed because they were trying to release future claims of APE with no consideration. And they weren't even representing APE shareholders to begin with. So there's some finer points of law to work out there, but we are not at the point where you can say one side won. Even though I don't like the word sides, we're all shareholders. We hopefully all want to make money and want the company to be successful. If the company is successful, then everybody wins, right? Depending on what time frame and what catalyst happen, obviously in the short term, different with two tickers, different things can happen. But I would hope that if you guys are invested in a company, that you believe in that company and you want them to be successful. That is ultimately how everybody wins. And if Q2 is an earnings upside surprise, then there's a fair chance that everybody could win. If this settlement gets delayed past the Q2 earnings, we may see both tickers go up. That'd be fine with me. I really don't care. I just want to see people not lose money and make the best trading decisions given the environment that we're in, which is a fucking crazy one. One of the craziest I've ever seen in 30 years. Yes, Roseanne, the reverse split is absolutely still in play. There was nothing in 69 pages from the judge. Again, to repeat what we said at the beginning, she denied all the objections. She had nothing to say about APE being illegal. She had nothing to say about the vote being illegal. She had nothing to say about the reverse split can't happen. She had nothing to say about the conversion can't happen. All she said is, the settlement you guys gave me, I can't approve it because you're asking for APE holders to never be able to sue you, but you're not giving them anything. That's all she said. It's really very cut and dry, and you're going to hear a lot of misinformation that is incorrect. And if you don't believe me, that's fine, but I put a link for you to read the 69 pages yourself in the video description. A Pure Chase says, Tony, quick question, but it's a technical one. How does a reverse split for lended shares? How does a reverse split work for lended shares? Every share that is out there, whether it's loaned, short, or legit long held by shareholders, all of them will split. I want you to think of it just as a button press that takes everybody's position on every computer out there and divides it by 10. Every position, long, short, imaginary, synthetic, or real, they'll all be divided by 10, and all of the associated prices will be upped by 10. It is really that simple. Naughty Stimpy says she made very clear everything they did was illegal. I mean, that's so idiotic that I'm half tempted just to boot you for being a liar. There's not one word in here that she used that anything was illegal. Like, if you don't understand English, this is not the right channel for you. Darren says Allegheny will drop the case. It's possible, right? But then Allegheny lawyers want to get paid, right? So I thought about that. I was like, could Allegheny lawyers say, we'll drop the case if you pay us $20 million and pay Allegheny on the side $1 million, $10,000? Yeah, I mean, there's so many different threads, so many different ways this could be resolved. Could they do that since it was brought as a class action? Would that be moral? Would that be legal? I don't know. I'm not an attorney. Could they just drop it? Could they just drop it? Sure, they could, as far as I know. Blazin says, we got some people living in an alternative reality. Guys, when your emotion gets in the way of your ability to logically analyze stuff, you are going to fucking lose your ass in the stock market. If you can't read 69 pages without seeing that she only brought up one issue, which was the release of claims on ape, if you can't read these 69 pages and find the paragraph where she dismissed every objection and every exception, if you can't read English and see that, then I'm of no help to you, because I'm just talking about what is written in black and white from Judge Zurn. You might not like that I'm saying it, but I'm reading you her fucking words. And I linked the document for you to go read it yourself. Now, if you prefer a world of clickbait and hopium and popping champagne today because you don't understand that, just go back to the hopium channels, and then you'll get a wake-up call next week, because this is not over. Nothing was dismissed except the settlement as proposed. Four Horsemen, what's up? He says, wouldn't we get all $10,000 as shareholders? Wait, what are we talking about here? If they agree to that, since they're representing shareholders. I'm just saying, like, why would Allegheny brought the suit? Would they want some payoff from AMC for their trouble? I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud. I don't know if legally they can do that because they brought the suit on behalf of the class. I don't know. I know for sure Allegheny's lawyers are going to want to get paid. And if they dismiss the suit, they're not going to get paid. So they'll probably, if it was a dismissal, or, if the Allegheny says we're going to drop the case but pay our lawyers, that might be an option. I don't know. Carlos says Tony will be losing his ass trying to buy AMC on Monday. No, I don't buy after run-ups, Carlos. No. If you wanted to buy AMC, guys, it's been at $4 and change for a long time. My fear is right now and after hours that they were taking advantage of a lot of retail traders buying at $7. That is my biggest fear. Could it run up more next week? Sure, it could. If you bought at 876 this evening because you think it's going to moon Monday, I wish you luck. I hope, really, if AMC goes up, Ape will go up too. Everybody wins. There's nothing wrong with that. But my biggest fear is that we had 3 hours of trading with no price movement, and they were just happily unloading shares to retail because they could. That's my fear. Just my opinion. We'll know more on Monday. I don't care if I'm right or wrong. Just sharing opinions, just sharing thoughts. That's what you're here for. Cloud says, just tuning in. Appreciate you answering my questions on Twitter. I do try and answer as many DMs, comments, Twitter DMs as I possibly can. One of my biggest gripes when I turned on the camera in July of 2021, after all of y'all had bought, remember I was not here when all of you guys bought. I was in the play since May of 2021, but I was not here telling you to buy it 40, 50, 60, 70 on that run up. I was trading it. I was buying calls and buying shares, but I was so mad at Trey and Matt for not answering anything unless you super chatted them. I do my damnedest, whether you like me, hate me, have something nice to say, have something hateful to say, not hateful, something that disagrees with me, as long as you're respectful, I do my damnedest to answer all of you. unless you're asking a question that someone else just asked in public, in which case I expect you to read the other comments and see my response, because time is limited. And if you really want, unvetted 24/7 access, pay the 30 cents a day and join the damn Discord. That is where I'm at when I'm not answering questions in public. And all of those get an answer for sure. Hazel says the attorneys are asking for millions and they can't even cover themselves very well. Yeah. It is going to be interesting next week. I can guarantee you, I will be watching the docket all weekend. And if there is any news at any moment, the moment I see it, any updates, I will notify all of you guys. Discord first, Twitter, and then the community tab on YouTube. I don't really care to make a bunch of videos. I'm not on YouTube to make a bunch of money making videos. I'm here to share information, share my the stuff I'm looking at. But there's so much damn drama in AMC. I really don't want any part of all that nonsense. So mostly just tweeting and community tab posting. Not that I'm not watching it 24/7. What else is there to talk about? We wait for the judge. We got something new to talk about now, which is why I'm here. And now we'll have to wait and see when the next shoe drops. And when that does, I'll let you know. If it's worth a video, I'll make a video. Parabolic says, do after hours run up really count as a run up? Absolutely. Absolutely. In my book, they do. What do you guys think? Can you trade in after hours? I mean, sure. CJ Plumbing says, I'm trying to scare retail. Well, I mean, no, I'm not trying to scare retail, CJ, but sometimes facts are scary. If all you listen to is clickbait and hopium, whether it's Mullen, Highcroft, BBIG, Bed Bath & Beyond, when you run across someone like me, CJ, that tells you what the fundamentals and the financials say, it may rock your fucking world, bro. Because you've never heard that before. What? Bed Bath & Beyond might be going bankrupt? You mean they have $5 billion in liabilities and only I'm just making that number. $5 billion in liabilities and only less than $1 billion in assets? What do you mean we might get wiped out? But Ryan Cohen is listed as a party in the lawsuit. Tony, didn't you read the docket? Yes, I fucking read the docket. But I have no interest in hopiumizing you guys on bullshit. The thing that makes me the most angriest is watching and hearing from people losing money on that hopium bullshit. Isaac says, what does Adam Aron need to do in the near term? That is a great question, Isaac. Does he need to sell more ape? All right, let's talk about that for a second, because I keep on talking about the concern I have about the cash position. All right, we've talked about this many times, but let's just do a very quick recap. $495 million in cash, about another $200 million in credit facility that they could tap into, a credit card, if you will. I think, cross fingers, knock on wood, that the company will make a slight profit. I think that there's a better than not chance that we will not lose money in Q2, the one we just ended. And we'll find out in 10 days, 15 days. But will they lose money in Q3 and Q4? I think probably so. We'll see how Oppenheimer and Barbie do. If they lose money in Q3 and Q4, then what is the amount that they lose? Is it 100 million per quarter? Is it 225 million per quarter? I don't know. We'll see. But let's just say worst case, because I look at a lot of scenarios. If it was worst case, similar to what they have been losing for the last 2 years, around 225 million a quarter, well, we could back out depreciation. Let's just call it 100 150. If we have 495 million in cash and we lose over the next 2 quarters 300 million, now we're down to 200 million in cash. The lenders are going to get nervous, and the lenders are the one that can foreclose on you. So yeah, I mean, if this lawsuit were to drag out till then, AMC's got to do something, I would think. By the end of the year, though, by the end of the year, sometime in Q4, I think this lawsuit thing will be wrapped up well before then. So I highlight the risk just so you're aware of it, so you know why I'm saying that the company needs to at least have access to raising cash. So you understand where I'm coming from when I talk about why it was important for them to have access to cash. Even if it's not great for shareholders, I want you to understand the company's thinking. They're worried about running out of cash and getting foreclosed on by the lenders, just like what happened to Bed Bath & Beyond. So what would they do then? Would they sell more ape? I don't know. What is ape going to be worth if its ultimate value is held up in court, held up like mired in the mud? Is it worth $1.40? Is it worth 60 cents? What would they do? I don't know. Would anybody buy it at this point with this much legal uncertainty? Any institution? I don't know. How do they? Could they? Would they? It's a good question. What else? What other options do they have? Not many, in my opinion. Not many. That is why I'm very concerned if this drags out about the risk of bankruptcy. And I don't say that to scare anybody. I say it with that is my fucking conviction, my belief. I have a very real concern if this were to drag out. There's a lot of ifs, right? Nested loops here. If this were to drag out to the end of the year, and if Q3 and Q4 were pretty bad, then there could be a scenario where the company runs dangerously low on cash by the end of the year. Am I saying that's going to happen? Stay tuned. I don't know. But I'm just pointing out that to you guys as one scenario that the company's worried about and that I can see very clearly in the financial statements as a real concern. Hopefully, we don't have to go there, either because Q3 and Q4 are phenomenal, or because the lawsuit is resolved and AMC has the ability to raise cash. If the lawsuit's resolved and they get the reverse split and conversion, and then we've already talked about this, that we know they're going to dilute, you got to make your own decisions about how you think that's going to affect the stock, and make your own choice. Are you going to hold through that, sell and rebuy later, just be done with it? Right? There's a whole different set of decision tree that people are going to make if that happens, and that's fine. I don't care what you do. I'm just going to present what's coming. You make your own choices. All right. CJ Plumbing says you are trying to scare retail because you are paid by the shorts. CJ, I've already said under penalty of law, nobody pays me. And since you are obviously a dumbass, I'm going to have to bid you adieu, my friend. Adios, bitch. Adios. Where is CJ? Let me block him in YouTube. I blocked him in Restream. We don't need no bitches on this channel. I think you'll be much happier on a clickbait hopium channel, CJ. The truth is hard to take. They don't call me Tin Grit for nothing, CJ. I'm not here to be your friend. Not here to hold your hand. I'm here to fucking tell you the truth. I got friends, CJ. I don't need you. Adios. Raul says, take a shot for all the ones you kicked out. I just about killed the clown shoes, and this clown shoes is in honor of CJ. Clown shoes beer today in honor of everybody we got to fucking kick from this live stream. Don't be a dumbass, guys. Don't be a dumbass. You can have a different opinion than me. I don't fucking care. I hear it a million times a day, trust me, on Twitter and the comments in my videos. I don't care. But when you expose yourself as a dumbass, you're never going to be the future of this channel because you're not willing to learn or listen. And I'm just doing you the favor now. Go lose your money with the hopium pushers because we're here to make money together and to learn. To learn something from the past 2 fucking years. Good Lord. Whether you get out of this play in the green or the red, I hope you learn something because you can take that knowledge and leverage it and not repeat your mistakes. Can I get an amen? Owning the float. What is up, amigo? How you doing? Mr. T says, Tony, how are you coping with the loss today? I in my 8 position, guys, I'm down about 14%. I'm doing just fine. Actually, sorry, my ape average is $1.50. 14% is where we're down on ape on the day. My ape average is $1.50. So I'm up 4 cents. And again, AMC and ape is not my only holding. I don't fucking care. I don't. Buy some fucking profitable companies, guys. Jesus Christ. You know why I don't? You know the benefit of having a diversified portfolio is not caring what happens in one play. I was watching when ape dipped to 67 cents and I was watching my friends buy it. And I could have gone in. I should have gone in and bought it at 67 cents. But for you fucking guys, I was reading the judge's written opinion as quickly as I could and getting tweets out. I should have. I've got cash sitting ready. But it took me a few minutes and the fucking downturn was over in 2 minutes. So I didn't pick up more at 67. I sure would have. And since you called me a clown, Mr. T, we're going to bid you to adieu as well, my friend. If you can't be respectful, you're better suited on a hopium channel. Adios, bitch. What kind of cigar are we smoking here? This is, it says 910. Veracruz. I don't, I subscribed to the Cigar of the Month Club. So they just send me like 12 a month now. And I don't even really pay attention. I just throw them in the humidor. And if something was exceptional, I would let you know. This one's been pretty smooth about halfway through. But I'm waiting for something to just wow me. And I haven't got there yet. Raul, thank you. Another shot for our fallen comrade. Adios, bitches, clowns, you fucking hopium lovers. Hopium tastes sweet. I know this is not the channel for that, guys. All right. Michael Anthony says he's been looking at CAG because of the 35-cent dividend and the day after earnings gets downgraded. The hell happened with that one, Anthony? Is that ConAgra? It sure is. Oh my gosh. Not a company that I have ever really looked at, to be honest. There's a couple of other plays that we'll probably be talking about last week that we've been looking at, including Palantir. Mastalorian told me he might be stopping in the home of Palantir on his way to the West Coast. So we might finally get that Palantir video out over this weekend because I want to be prepared to talk about it. But I can't really comment, my friend, unless I look at the press release and what their financials are, why they might have gone down. Earnings just came out. It looks like the earnings came out and then they've been going up for 3 days. So yeah, it's a good question. And that is a fine brand, but not one that I've ever invested in, not one I regularly follow. If I don't know, I'm going to tell you I don't know. What do I think for Monday in AMC, Gilberto? I think that we need to pay very close attention to the docket this weekend and see if any news drops. If it does, I will be updating you the minute I see it. And if not, if nothing happens this weekend, that means that the lawyers weren't blue penciling a settlement. They weren't just like revising the homework and turning it back into the judge. That means that it might take longer than this weekend or next week. Also, if Chancery Daily, since she's not on Twitter anymore because she hates Elon Musk, if she provides any update, I know she's reading through 69 pages right now. If she provides any update with some more insights, she knows way more than me. That's her damn job. I'm just a fucking YouTuber. I will always defer to her expertise and knowledge. Always know when someone is smarter than you. If she publishes an update, I will share the critical pieces of it with you guys immediately so that you can be prepared for Monday. And I expect she will. I expect we'll hear from her over the weekend. Jose Smith, what's up? Anya says, Markets with May said it right. If you can't roll with her live stream, start your own channel. I like it, Anya. Did you guys see the video with my son in New York, by the way? I posted it on Twitter. I posted it in the community tab with fellow YouTuber and subscriber to the channel, Chris's New York City hot dog stands. I don't know that I've ever seen Chris in person before. I just know him from comments on YouTube, but I knew he was up there in New York, and I had told him a year ago, Chris, if I ever come to New York, I want you to take me to a hot dog stand. He said, of course. And then my son is doing his internship. He's an accounting major. He's doing his internship with a real estate private equity firm in New York this summer. I said, hey, boy, why don't you meet with Chris and do a YouTube video? He's like, all right, I'll do that. So they did a video this week and it's posted on Chris's channel. So go check out Chris's New York hot dog stand. Tell me if my son looks like me or not. And he's a sharp kid. He's my youngest. I have 2 sons. He's getting I think his bachelor's degree is going to be in finance with a master's in accounting. He's getting a 5-year program here at UT Austin. Anyways, if you want a little more slice of life of me, go check that out. I texted him this weekend. I was like, all right, now you need to go in May's Market with May. You need to go in her studio and do a live stream. Because I think she's in New York too. I don't know. I never can get straight if May is in New York or San Francisco. I think she's in New York. Roll in Dubs. What's up? With no news over the weekend, in your opinion, where do we open up on Monday? That is an excellent question. So let's look one more time at the price action. If there were no news, what do I think is going to happen? I'm just going to look at the chart and look at the trend. And I am going to tell you, if there's no news over the weekend, I think that we open up in pre-market. Fuck, man. Pre-market is so hard to call. right? Because the volume is so thin. I'm gonna couch my answer a little bit. I think that if we have no news into Monday, I don't know what's going to happen in pre-market. It depends if people actually read the judge's 69 pages over the weekend. But I think that the overall trend on no news over the next couple days will be that AMC continues to trickle down and the ape continues to trickle up. That's what I think right now, if there were no news, because that is the general trend. Look, I mean, you can see it, right? But I don't know. What else? What other news is going to come out this weekend? Tyler, what's up? Hey, Tyler, you want to come give us some thoughts? You want to call in, Tyler? Who wants a dose of Tyler the deaf guy? You better buckle your fucking seatbelts if Tyler says yes. By the way, Tyler was one of the viewers that was driving through Austin. He's a truck driver. Shout out to all my truck drivers. He happened to come through Austin a couple weeks ago, and I had lunch with him and another couple from California that happened to be in Austin on the same day. If you guys are ever headed out this way, let me know. I'm happy to meet with you. I am a real person. I'm not paid by Hedgies, and I will freely share my thoughts on politics in person. Not on this channel because I keep on getting demonetized. Every time I'm on with Massillorium, demonetized. Would you like to appeal? Yes. Karen, what's up? Yeah, Karen and Davinda Vasher were here in Austin also the same day as Tyler. Gatsby of Houston says, for sure Tony sold today. No, I already said on my honor, I did not make any trading decisions today on AMC or Ape. Swear to you. As I should have been buying more Ape when it dropped to 70 cents, but like a dumbass, as I said for you guys, I was live talking with people on Discord when it happened. They can testify. Testify. I was reading the fucking document. You had about 2 minutes to make a trade. If I was going to do any trade right now, I would have bought Ape at 70 cents. But in that 2 minutes for you, I was trying to get a fucking tweet out with some semblance of correctness. Speed reading that 69-page bitch as fast as I can. I'm good in my play. I'm good in my conviction. I'm good in my position. I'm good in my risk, the amount of risk that I've taken on. And as I've said many, many, many times over the last several months, I'm not looking to really add or subtract to anything. I'm waiting for an outcome of this lawsuit. But if I would have done anything today, I would have bought more Ape at 70 cents. Anya says she was out picking tomatoes. Oh, man. Got to keep your phone with you, Anya. Do I think AMC will be profitable this quarter? Polito, Q2, the one that just ended in June, I think we have a good shot of being profitable. Q3 and Q4, I've said a couple months ago, I do not think will be profitable. However, I'm going to say right now, I'm watching the fucking ticket sales for Oppenheimer and Barbie blow out the fucking barn doors. So I'm going to say for Q3, it's too early to call. I would love for Q3 to be break even or profitable too. Paul says, I see a whale buying AMC Monday morning for $8. It depends. I mean, right? What anybody does on Monday morning depends on your conviction about what's going to happen with the lawsuit. Depends on what you think is going to happen with the settlement. The settlement is up in the air, right? There's a lot of things that need to be vetted and sussed out over the weekend. And it depends on what your intelligence tells you is likely to happen next. The judge found no illegality. She dismissed all the exceptions and the objections. She just didn't like the fact that APE, that they were asking for a release on all future claims of APE. So can they come to some copacetic agreement on that the judge will approve? If they can over this weekend and the judge says signed off, if it can happen that quick, I don't know if it can happen that quick, but if it can, the whole game could be changed by Monday. We might be right back onto settlement approved. We'll find out. We're just here talking it out. John says, thoughts on finger. I published my thoughts on finger about 5 days ago, John, on Twitter, and I think in the comments section. I was silent other than in my Discord. I was silent on public social media from the run-up of $1 to $7 because we all love a good run-up, right? When I saw it topping out at $7, I made a tweet. I believe I posted on my community tab also. I definitely posted in the Discord, and I said it's topping out. Since that day, about 5 days ago, I've gotten umpteen million hate messages, paid by hedge funds, clown, you're going to be wrong. Meanwhile, it's dropped almost 50%. That's my thoughts on finger. It was over at $7. I do not buy any of the hopium, clickbait, pumping bullshit. Is finger an absolute wreck? No, it is not. And that's what I told my Discord. It's not an absolute wreck. It doesn't have a risk of dilution. Doesn't have any warrants or anything. No like major red flags. It's better than most of the pumps we see. But I said, if you're playing it, play it with protection. Have an exit plan. Have some if it starts turning against you, be ready to jump out because it's not going to end well. Do I think we'll be on the security threshold list again? Let's talk about that. We're still on it, aren't we? Aren't we still on the threshold list? A lot of people asked me about that this week because some people said AMC is violating the law. AMC is violating the threshold list. Other people say the SEC is not doing anything. All right, let me tell you what I've said many, many times over the last probably year. All right, I was with you guys. I thought in the beginning that the threshold list mattered. I don't think that anymore. Why? Because of literally 100 plays that I've watched over the last 2 years where it didn't mean jack shit. It's an indicator of problem. It's an indicator of illiquidity. It's an indicator possibly of manipulation. Yes, of course. But why do I say it doesn't matter? Because if you understand the mechanics of how the threshold list works, let me just explain this to you, and you can just put it in your back pocket and either care or not care. If an entity, a person, a company doesn't deliver the amount of if they don't deliver shares that is over the threshold to get on the threshold list, once you're on there, it's going to be on there for 5 trading days minimum. They could cover it the next day. They could deliver those shares the next day. You'll still be automatic 5 days on the list, right? That's first of all. Second of all, when you get in a play like Mullen or AMC or any stock where there's a problem getting shares because retail owns a lot of it, you could have multiple entities failing to deliver by accident or by purpose, right? Because they can't find them, because no one's willing to sell, or because they're trying to manipulate, or because they're purposely delaying to hope to get a lower price. There's a lot of reasons. But let's just say there's multiple entities and entity A fails on day 1 and entity B fails on day 5 and entity A covers on day 5. The thing that got you on the list just covered, but a new one failed on day 5. That means 5 more days. And then entity B covers on day 10, but entity C or even entity A fails on day 10. Now you're on 5 more days. It doesn't mean necessarily that there's billions of failures to deliver. It means that someone or multiple parties keep on kicking it down the road or failing to deliver. And you could literally be on there for months and months and months and there could not be any illegality, right? Could it be manipulative? Yes. Could it be deceitful? Yes. Could it just be inefficiency of the market? Yeah. I don't really care why. I just know that because multiple entities can fail and they don't have to all fail on the same day, each time one fails, the 5-day clock resets. So should companies complain about it? Yes. Is there something the SEC can sink their teeth into? That all depends, right? What I would like is transparency. What you guys should be asking for is transparency on the threshold list. Who is failing? How many did they fail for? When did they clear? Until we know the answers to that, it's a fucking black hole. I don't like black holes. We should be badgering the SEC for transparency on the threshold list. It is totally irresponsible that we can't understand the mechanics of why things are on the list for so long. Irresponsible. So if you take one other thing away from this live stream, start bugging the SEC for transparency of the entities and the quantities of the fails on the threshold list. That is when we know if there's meat on the bones. Until then, I have as little info as you guys do. I could make a rational argument that nothing is illegally happening, but I don't know. And I can certainly understand the argument that manipulation is happening. It could be either one. I can't tell you. I see one. Blazin says, in my opinion, Ape is converting one way or another. Did Tyler ever answer if he's going to come on live and curse at us? We had to set up a separate voice chat in the Discord just for Tyler, by the way. What's up, Philip? He said he's in the voice channel. Oh, I was going to give him a call-in number. Let me see if I can get him in. I see him. Tyler, hang on a second. Let me see if I can get you on the live stream. Can you hear me? Tyler? Oh, I have it set to push to talk. Hang on a second. Tyler, can you hear me now? All right. Give me 1 second. I'm going to let you come curse at the folks for a second.
I
All
can
right,
hear
Tyler,
you.
give us a mic check. Let me know in the chat if you can hear him. Tyler, give us a mic check.
I'm just pouring another fucking drink.
Can y'all hear him okay?
This working?
Out while we're waiting for confirmation, if y'all can hear
I am.
Tyler. While we're waiting for confirmation, Alan says, give me a quick rundown of what happened. The judge.
Wow, we're really on delay.
Yeah, we're on delay, Tyler. That's why I wanted you to call in on the phone number. Can I give you a phone number, Tyler? Tyler.
Yes, go ahead.
Hang on. All right, I'm going to give him a phone number. Then we won't have to deal with the delay because this is annoying. All right, for Alan, the rundown on what happened is the judge did not like that AMC and Allegheny were asking for a release on all claims being sued in the future over APE. She said you can't give a release on APE. You can't give a release on APE because they weren't part of this lawsuit. You can't give a release on APE because there's no consideration. I'm having trouble finding Tyler here. Here he is. Typing it in, Tyler. Again, I'm going to give an adult warning. If you have kids in the room, you're going to want to go on a headset right now before he calls in. RA says, with 8 being tied to AMC price, will we see some big upward movement? If we get Q2 earnings before this whole lawsuit thing is done, yeah, I think if Q2 earnings are positive, an upside surprise, we could definitely see both tickers run up. And AMC would probably run up more because it has a higher short interest. It has a higher cost to borrow. Tyler. Can you hear me, Tyler? Tyler. All right, I'm going to hang up on him because he doesn't appear to be listening. Tyler, your last chance. You're holding up the show here, Tyler. Try again. Broke Ape, what's up, amigo? Roseanne says it's 9:39 on the East Coast. What time is it here? 8:39 here in Texas, blazing hot Texas, where my AC is running 24/7. Alan, that is correct. MC, what's up, amigo? He says, please note, M_C_C. M_C_ is not MC. Yes. Thank you for tuning in. Alan says, is the reverse split still on the table? Conversion still on the table? Absolutely. The judge could not approve the settlement as proposed. That was her words. So they're going to have to come back with something, or maybe alternatively, they'll have to dismiss the case. I don't know what the outcome's going to be. We're just here talking it out, going through all the different options. Damn, Rick says he's talking to a shoe. He's probably talking to his dog. I got to meet his dog. Can you imagine when he was here in Texas? Can you imagine driving a truck across the country with an Australian Shepherd as your companion? Tyler!
It's working?
Is it working? I don't know. Can you hear me?
I'm working on it.
Can you hear us? Tyler? Muggsy says, Tony, you blocked me on Twitter and I've never even posted or responded to anything. Yeah, you know, sometimes I monitor what's being said on other people's tweets, Muggsy. Might not have been something specific to me, but if you're following certain clowns on Twitter and responding to them, then by default, that's going to be a block. Not, you know, it's not that you said anything specific to me, but I want by the end of this play to have all the clowns and their followers blocked so that we can move on and make money in real plays, real profit making plays without dealing with a bunch of conspiracy nonsense. I mean, literally half these other people on YouTube think the earth is flat and covered by a dome of water. I don't want those followers. I don't. Everything in their life is a conspiracy. They hate Adam Aaron. You know, the SEC's against them. Adam Aaron's against them. The judge is against them. The special master is against them. Like, if everything is against you, why the fuck are you in the stock market? Like, you're admitting to yourself that you're going to lose. So whether or not everyone's against us, I don't know, but let's at least understand what's going on and learn how to profit from it. That's what I intend to do. If you want to be on board for that, stick around. How much longer do I think the AMC play is going to last? That's a loaded question, Kane. Loaded question. A lot is going to happen in the next couple months, right? Q2 positive earnings, potentially, I think. Q3, Q4 negative earnings. We got writers, actors strike impacting the end of the year. We got the settlement and the lawsuit. We got the potential of dilution on the table. What is your definition of a play, right? Someone wanted me to answer on Twitter. Tony, answer the question, Tony. Do you believe in the MOAS? I don't know. What's your definition of a MOAS? You think I'm going to fall for that bullshit on Twitter? What's your definition of a MOAS? First of all, you know, if you bought in late 2020 for $2 and it ran to 72, that's a pretty fucking good play in most people's books. But if you bought in at $60 and you needed to go to 1,000, I don't know if I can get behind that. I don't care to use the word MOAS. I care that you make money and get out of a play in the green. I care that you don't overpay and don't fall for pumpers telling you to buy at the top. So when will this play be over? I don't know. Are they going to be profitable in 2024? I sure hope so. What's going to happen in the next 60, 90 days? Fuck if I know. Too much on the table. Q2 earnings, high short interest, high cost to borrow, could be very spicy for bulls. But then we have to think about dilution after that if the settlement's approved. Just understand what's coming and have your plans accordingly either way. That's all. Bravscar says they think the landscapers at the court are against them, right? Adam Aaron's trying to suppress. Who thinks Adam Aaron's trying to suppress Sound of Freedom? If anything, if there have been some cases of air conditioners going out, right? We don't know that they were all at AMC, but of course everybody's piling on AMC. Way I look at it, and if you're in the AC business, you know most ACs fail when? In the heat of summer when they're running 24/7. Is it normal when you have thousands of theaters with multiple screens per location that one oddball AC fails from time to time? Absolutely. Does that mean that it's a vast conspiracy? I mean, the numbers speak for themselves. This movie is knocking it out of the park with box office revenue. Of course, there's no coordinated effort to suppress it. That is the most bullshit that I've ever heard. Could there be one woke person in one theater turning up an AC to make people uncomfortable? Absolutely. Is Adam Aaron giving him those instructions? Fuck off. All you flat earthers, fuck the right off. Fuck, just go walk off the side of the earth. So tired of this conspiracy bullshit. But ACs go out. You could have rogue employees that are woke that don't like the movie, sabotaging an auditorium, of course. Turning the AC up, of course. Adam Aaron doing it? No. English Jim says if he wanted to suppress Sound of Freedom, all he had to do was say AMC won't put it on the screens. Exactly. It's on a lot of screens in my area, and almost all of them is sold out, and I've not heard any problems. I went and saw it in an ice fucking cold AMC. It was a great movie. Philip says it is ridiculous to think that Adam Aaron would risk potential jail time for suppressing it. I mean, you see the producers of this movie going to bat for him, saying he's one of the best advocates for their movie that they have. The fact that anybody would say otherwise just lets me know they're a little bit light in the loafers, a little bit. The elevator doesn't go all the way to the top. They're in the cuckoo corner. And I've seen some of those people tweeting literally about they believe in flat earth. I'm not joking. I got the screenshots. YouTubers telling you what to do on AMC, that Adam Aaron is suppressing Sound of Freedom, are also tweeting to people that they believe the earth is flat and surrounded by a dome of water. This is not a joke. I don't want to name the name, but I did post it on Twitter. Just so you guys know what kind of information you're getting out there. Now, if you like flat earth theory, then by all means, just don't watch my channel. Go all in on that Adam Aaron sabotaging his company theory. By the way, all those people love Mullen too. The CEO who just diluted 2 billion shares and is about to reverse split them 1 for 100. No problem with that, dude. But Adam Aaron is evil. The CEO, David Michery, who bonuses himself on a regular basis every time he comes up with a new idea. No problem with that, dude. Mullen is fantastic company. But Adam Aaron's evil. All of these guys, why do they hate AMC, but they pump Mullen? Do you ever ask yourself that? I'm the only one. Broke Ape says today's space said AMC was running because of Barbie fundamentals. Well, I mean, Barbie. Oh, wait. You mean the run up to $8 was because of Barbie? No. Taylor Boy says, who else bought a $7 call option for $4 besides me? That'd be nice. I mean, I hope for all of you guys that have call options, I hope that it sticks till Monday when the market opens. Take the fucking money. Rascar says, Barbie is selling out because of Margot Robbie. I got to admit, that's the only reason I'm going to see it. And we were looking at buying tickets. And I was talking to the wife. I was like, we got Oppenheimer, but it's sold out. I only want to see it in IMAX. It's sold out every screening till next week. And bless her heart, she's like, well, look at this one. There's 2 seats in the front row. I was like, oh, that is a true ape. She's like, yeah, it would be fun. I was like, no, I'm not paying for an IMAX to sit in the front row and do this shit. We're going to wait till next week and see Oppenheimer in the middle of the week when it slows down. I already got it booked now, but we are going to Barbie. She's like, okay, well, let's just go to Barbie. So I think that tomorrow early, all the evening showings are sold out. So we got early tickets Saturday or Sunday. I forget. I better figure it out before tonight. And one thing that I'm seeing from the reviews, the Barbie shower scene, gentlemen, I'm just saying. Hello, Asian Barbie. Will you soap my back? Oh, sure, Russian Barbie. I'll soap your back. That shower scene is worth the entire movie. Michael says, Tony, have you looked at Dish? I have not. Broke Ape says they had a space on AMC and didn't know it was happening. They said it was because of Barbie fundamentals. I bet our good friend Ants Trades thought that AMC ran up today because of his algorithm. This is how disconnected people are from reality. I don't care about the court's decision. It ran up. I'm fucking telling you guys, the algorithm is predicting a run up. Just stay grounded with reality, guys. You know that the run up today was because of the judge's decision. Not because of Barbie, not because of some algo. Was there algo trading? Yes, but the algo didn't magically make it bump for no reason. It was 100% coincided and time-stamped with the release of the judge's written opinion. And what happens next will 100% be dependent on what happens with what develops in this court case, whether it be over the weekend or over the next week. Could it run up to 10 or 12? See pimpin'? Yeah, sure. If people continue buying on Monday, absolutely. Grandpa Barney says, thank you for being a speed reader. I was on a call with a bunch of people. Grandpa Barney can attest that I neglected to go in and buy Ape at 70 cents because I was trying to get you guys the information of what that fucking 69 page document said. Thank you, Grandpa. I appreciate that. Michael says, my neck hurts all the time, which I'm 67 years old and been hit from behind in my truck 20 years ago. Fuck, man. That happened to me in San Juan, Puerto Rico on the highway, just leaving the airport. I think we were in a rental car. You know how the traffic is in San Juan, stop and go. We stopped and the guy behind us didn't. And I got racked from the back, and my fucking neck hurt for the rest of that stay. Speaking of necks hurting, I did the Teddy Zane trap challenge yesterday at the gym, and yes, I'm in pain. It only hurts when I do this, though. So don't ask me a question I don't know the answer to. If I got to say I don't know, it hurts. The trap challenge is 400 reps. 400 reps of front and back shrugs, 200 each. And I was going to add kettlebell carries to that, but I decided let me get past the initial soreness, and then I'll go hardcore on that. Max Dog, what's up? He says, what do you think are the chances of pulling the buy button after another small run up? I think we'd need to see a major run up, Max. Just my opinion. I think you'd need to see something over $30. Now, halts, if it were to run up, would there be halts? Yes. That's pre-programmed in. It's not some committee sitting there saying, halt it, we're going to get obliterated. It's programmed in already to protect them. But if it runs up, there will be halts. Would they turn the buy button off? Yeah, maybe if it ran from 30 to 70, sure. That's why I want you to have an exit plan, at least in brackets, in any run up of any stock, especially one as controversial as this. It's not that I don't think that there could be a MOAS. I think that there will be fuckery on part of the market. We've seen it. It would not surprise any of us to see it again. I'm not going to be around complaining that they turned off the buy button. I will be out of the play long before that happens. All right. Darren says, after more reading, Allegheny and Ape can come up with a settlement for ape holders that the judge agrees with. We talked about 4 possibilities earlier. That was one of them. Yes, sir. Richard, good night. Thank you, sir. Muggsy says, why did you block me? Probably, Muggsy. I mean, I don't like blocking people on Twitter. The only answer I could tell you is you probably commented on one of the clown channels. If I see people that have nothing but vitriolic hate for 10 Grit Denaro, even if it's a comment on someone else's post, then I just do myself an early favor and block them. Joe says, ask Noisy Corex. I did invite Chancery Daily and Noisy Corex to tonight's live, but he must be busy. All right, Buckaroo Bonsai, good question. With the current prices, what would the post-conversion price be? That, I think we're getting ahead of ourselves, but I'm going to answer your question. Why are we getting ahead of ourselves? Because I think there's more price action to be determined as we find out what's going to happen. But if I put in, let's see, my spreadsheet has the closing price. Let's put in on the model 717 and $1.54, just to answer your question. $35 would be the post reverse split price without a settlement. The settlement dilutes, remember? The 1 for 7.5 is a little dilution. I don't have that in my model. So subtract $1. Let's just say 33 to 35 bucks. Grandpa says, how about they agree to toss the lawsuit? That is one of the 4 possibilities we talked about. Yes. George Pringle says, if the price stayed as it is tonight and a deal was struck in the next few days, how has MC changed and the reverse split changed? What is MC? If a deal was struck in the next few days, I think you will see, just my opinion, I think you'll see AMC drop and APE go back up. Max Dog says, I tell them on their channels to watch Tony. Thank you, Max Dog. I have very few defenders on Twitter, so if you're one of the soldiers, I appreciate it. They decided long ago, though, that they don't like financial statements. They don't like understanding why companies might need to raise money. They don't like fundamentals. They only want someone to confirm to them that this thing is going to $1 million. And if I can't repeat that on a daily basis, I must be thrown off the island. Steven's back. Steven, I see him in the chat. He just got back from watching Barbie with the woman. Steven, tell us about the shower scene. Was it everything that we have been told to believe? They have room temperature IQs, Max Dog. Yeah. All right, we're going to wrap up here in a bit because I think we've covered all the topics. If you are just coming in, I want to hear Stephen tell us about the Barbie shower scene. And for those of you that are wondering about Judge Zurn, she dismissed every exception to the special master's report. She laid out 4 bullet points saying that all of her concerns centered around Allegheny and AMC wanting to release future claims against AMC by APE shareholders because the lawsuit was not brought on behalf of APE shareholders and because APE shareholders were not given any consideration for such release. Hopefully you understand what that means. AMC does not want to be sued by APE shareholders. They want a full release. The judge said you can't do that because this lawsuit was about AMC shareholders. And even if it was including APE shareholders, you're not giving them anything in exchange for a release. So all of her bullet points had to do with that one thing. Nothing was found illegal. Not the creation of APE, not the vote, not the reverse split, not the conversion, just this one sticking point about the release of future claims of APE shareholders. So they've got to come up with something. I don't know what this something will be. Dismissal, Allegheny drops the lawsuit, Allegheny and AMC come up with something to throw a bone to the apes. We will find out. But you're going to hear a lot of people mislead you. I want you to read all 69 pages. If you don't like what I'm saying, I put a link to it in the video description for you. It's there for you to go read. You got all weekend. It's not, well, some of it is tough to go through, but if you just read the bold print, you'll get the gist of it. All right. Steven says, Barbie was great, very funny, lighthearted. Take the lady for sure and not a seat available. Steven, one final question since you don't want to answer about the shower scene. I'm hearing a lot of talk that Barbie was pushing a woke agenda, and I don't mean to put you on the spot. I will talk about it this weekend after I go see it, but do you have any thoughts you want to share? Did you feel overwhelmed by a woke agenda? And I know if Stephen is willing to answer it, he will give us a truthful answer. Josh says, sorry, Josh, if I missed your question earlier. One more try. He says, I'm assuming I missed his comment. You mentioned that the haters will find out next week. When I say haters, I mean just the people that want me to apologize. There's nothing to apologize for. Every objection was dismissed. And was I wrong? Nobody's wrong at this point. We're still in limbo. So I think that the people that are popping champagne thinking that this is over are celebrating too early. What is the final outcome? Fuck if I know. Right? But I think the people that think they know right now are incorrect, because I read dispassionately the judge's decision, and she only had one complaint, and that was about the ape claim. So they've got to go address that. And what the outcome is, we will find out together. I'm not making any predictions. I've laid out 4 options. I would caution anybody on either side, whether you're pro-conversion or against conversion. I'd say it's a little too early to celebrate, I think. Trav says, how much would implied volatility change for options at 8? I mean, when you see a massive run-up like that, Trav Magoo, I think it's safe to assume that implied volatility spiked. It was already high. It was already at a 1 year, approaching a 1 year high. And now you get this massive move. I think it's safe to say that implied volatility got even worse for options traders, unless you're selling options. Steven's being quiet. All right. I'm going to give him 30 seconds while we wrap up and say the thank yous. Thank you to the mods for hanging out tonight. Apologies to the clowns we had to boot. I know this is not everybody's cup of tea. Facts, financials, and fundamentals are a bitter pill to swallow for some people. I get it. But if that interests you and you want to learn the psychology of retail, not get tricked into buying at the top of these fucking plays, get in early, get out early, take profits, move on to the next one. And I literally watch dozens of stocks every week, hundreds over the past couple of years. Yes, my content is heavy AMC because a lot of you guys want to know about that. But there's so much more that we talk about on the Discord, so much more that I'm following on a daily basis, a weekly basis for the last couple of years in my own portfolio too. And there's going to be a lot more to talk about after this play is done. So if you're interested, stick around. Don't be a dick. And let's all have fun and make money together on a lot more other shit. Nobody pays me. Nobody tells me what to say. I speak my mind. I don't care. I'm not here to make friends. I'm not here for subs. I'm not here for money. I'm not here for views. I'm probably single-handedly the most unpopular person in every fucking play out there, except for the people who like to make money. Because we love a good run-up on any stock, but we get out early. We take those profits and we move on. Thank you, guys. Love you. And stick around. If there's updates this weekend, I will be sure and let you know.
Let's go. Yo, I'm like an addict, I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it, fuse like a magnet. Lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shit tastes sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay in power for a long time. get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back, better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never gonna look back. Never gonna look back. Cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast, and that's